Okay, hello everybody. Hope you've all been having a good weekend. Now, a couple of topics. Are we on? Is this thing working? Okay, couple of topics for today are going to be Donald Trump, conscription, who might run instead of Biden in 2024. Well, that's basically this year. Still getting used to saying that we're in 2024. And some other random topics that might come up. So a couple of you guys were saying, oh, gee, I was so negative. Is there anything positive happening? And the truth is, there is a lot positive happening because more and more people are getting their eyes opened. The great thing about them playing multiple agendas is there's something there to aggravate everybody. So before I talk about Trump, I was going to say to you, in regards to the trans agenda and also teaching children as young as 4, graphic details about sex, front ways, back ways, whatever ways, masturbation, the whole shebang, and men and women's bathrooms, men identifying as women. A lot of these things, or children identifying as cats even, a lot of these things are getting so extreme that it's going to reach virtually everybody. As George Galloway once said, he's talked to an awful lot of people in his life. He's been around a long time. He's 70 this year. And he was saying in the entire life, with all the people he's talked to during his political career and his political activism, he's never met anybody who thinks any of those things I was just mentioning was a good idea. He said, I don't even know what a person would look like, be like, sound like, who thought those things were a good idea. So the agenda is getting so vast, so utterly depraved and ridiculous. More and more people are being hit by it. It's not just Brexit. It's not just Trump. It's not just some issue happening over there that they can have a virtue signaling opinion on it without being drawn into it. You can't just stand on the sidelines and virtue signal anymore because it's getting that serious. Especially now the talk of conscription, because that's also going to awake some of the people on the socialist left who may be client groups or maybe kind of okay with some of the things going on. So when it comes to Trump, I am after certain things that he did, some of his pardons. I became very skeptical also looking into his donors. And you have to be skeptical of all politicians because they need to jump through a lot of hoops and hurdles to become a politician. They need backers and donors. And as soon as there's money involved, there's corruption involved. You just can't trust their motives anymore. So that's why I've rode back a bit on him and expecting too much from him. And he is only one person working in a very corrupt system. But what I do think he does well, and he's very useful for, is he is an awesome communicator. He grabs the limelight so effortlessly and he brings attention to all the issues that we really care about, whether it's CBDC, the hoax of climate change, mass immigration. What else? I mean, there are loads of things that he is prepared to talk about. He does voice conservative issues really well, and it gives people courage to talk about them. Remember before he came along and kind of ramroded into like a bull terrier, a bull, a fighting bull launched into all these issues. A lot of people were scared to touch them. He's brought them into discourse. He's made it okay for people to have, serious questions about all these things. What I love about him most is he highlighted fake media and also the nastiness of almost the entire British media and a lot of the American media, the vehemency in which they hate him and they hate his supporters, because when they're attacking him, he's big enough and old enough to deal with it. But they're really attacking us. They're attacking everyone who has a nationalistic viewpoint or who identifies with any of the things he talks about. And we now know who our enemies are. When they're attacking him, we know they're attacking us. They hate what his supporters represent. They hate anything to do with nationalism and patriotism and conservatism and Christianity. And whether or not he really believes in these things, we don't know. But look, while he's talking about them, that's fantastic. And I think like I say, the whole fake news, he showed up a lot of people. And when he's back really at the forefront, you're going to see all these bitchy, nasty people showing their true colors again and getting really extreme like they do when they're talking about Trump. And this helps wake people up because a lot of more people are thinking, wait a minute, what he says is really quite reasonable. Why is everyone freaking out? For example, I was on Twitter the other day and I saw someone had retweeted this MP, some stupid female MP in the UK, typical blob of nothing. And she was saying that Donald Trump continues to spout baseless claims that the election was stolen. Don't you like this baseless claims. And they always use the phrase, he continues to spout baseless claims. It's just as it's safe and effective. It's just like an easy little mantra for these morons to remember, and then they can trot it out. Has she ever looked at the claims for like even 1 nanosecond? No, she hasn't. She just knows her words like an actor. These are baseless claims. Rinse and repeat, whatever. Don't even rinse, just repeat, for God's sake. And I was thinking, Donald Trump, Joe Biden has coveted the presidency nearly all of his career. He's never even won one primary, right? And suddenly he wins like the most votes of ever, 82 million votes suddenly, after being a failure his entire life, can't string a sentence together, doesn't have a coherent thought, can't present, can't give speeches, can't debate, can't do nothing, can't campaign, but he wins. The people aren't thinking. When Obama won, he got 69 odd million votes. He won 2,300 counties. Donald Trump got like mid-70 million, a lot of million votes, far more than Obama. He won 2,500 counties. Biden smashes it with like 82 odd million votes, and he only wins 450 counties. Make the maths of that work out. No, you can't. Then we've got the fact that every kind of state, it was all won in Maricopa County, that's Arizona, isn't it? In Fulton County, in Georgia, was it Ferguson? Was that Ferguson? Was that up in Wisconsin? I'm a bit rusty on that now. And there was Wayne County in Detroit in Michigan, and a few counties in Pennsylvania. Were enough to throw the whole thing. So you only need corruption in a few key states, so they focused on those 4 states and they got it. But do you think the stupid MP has ever looked into it? No, because MPs don't look into anything. All they're looking is, who's taking me to dinner? Which donor am I speaking to? Which lobbyist am I speaking to? Oh, I'm going to be chatting on the BBC. I better have all my lines ready. It's just about them, not about real issues. So that's why I think Donald Trump coming back onto the scene is a good thing for all the issues we care about. Will he win? Well, they're in control of that. You've got to remember that all these counties are controlled by Democrats, whether it's Nevada, Arizona, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, Georgia, all the counties that he should have won, right, are now controlled by Democrats, so they would have been able to gerrymander, put everything in place in order to steal another election. So the only way he's going to win is if they kind of want him to win, and that's also worrying. But they may want to run a whole new narrative, and then for that narrative, they might need him to win. As we know, we've got all these people now, like Russell Brand. He's in the paper, look at the Daily Mail headlines, and they're saying, could look over there and have a look, that far from getting into trouble, he's coining it. This is the pub where he runs his like 24/7 propaganda conspiracy network, blah, blah, blah. And, he's yeah, why is anyone taking him seriously? It is sad for all the people who've put in the work, done the research, really put out quality information, been consistent, and been there from the start, that these Johnny-come-latelys just jump on the bandwagon at this late stage to capture the attention and there to corner the alternative media market and manipulate it into a blind alley, maybe. That's what they do. Remember those tarot cards we did right at the beginning with... was on my big thing that I did ages ago for 2020 and the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction, and we had all these tarot cards that were on the top of The Economist, and you've got someone in a cloak, you can't see his face, with a lantern leading a load of people along a cliff. And I said it always reminded me of, though I walk through the shadow of the valley of death. And I think there are these continual puppets that will lead the masses who want change, the masses who've basically got the right idea, but the masses who can't yet distinguish who to trust in this movement. And they will continue to lead people down blind alleys. I think Robert Malone is getting a lot of slack now. We know it was Jordan Peterson. I always say Majid Nawaz, but he's blocked me on Twitter. I never tweeted him, but he blocked me for some reason. Who knows? Who knows how closely they watch what nobodies like myself say. I had another one I wanted to add to that list. It was, damn it, wait until the next broadcast. There's a part 2 coming. Hold on.